Down south in North Carolina, Spot is showing Gord around the Salisbury station when Chadson comes in and turns on the loop. Chadson dice "Hola, amigo," and introduces himself to Gord, who replies, "Pleased to meet you, comrade." Comrade? Spot runs for cover. The Ivet mogul puts the last wagons on an outbound goods train that she wants to give to the Black Five, if she knew where the Black Five was. Meanwhile, the Black Five is making good time, but is not sure exactly where she is. She is stopped by a red signal. Now the Black Five knows where she is. The old Class 50 steam loco asks the Black Five if she has seen any Swedes. The Black Five has not. The Class 50 mutters something about meatball camouflage and goes on his way. A diesel railcar approaches and asks the Black Five if she's seen a Class 50 steam loco. Grandpa is off his meds again. The Black Five says the Class 50 went that way. The railcar gives chase and advises the Black Five not to have meatballs for lunch today. As the signal clears, the Black Five wonders what other wonders await in Germany. Meanwhile, Princess Arthur arrives in West Virginia and introduces herself to a passing Norfolk & Western SD9 diesel. The SD9 asks what kind of name is Princess Arthur. Princess Arthur explains that in 1913, Lady Alexandra Duff married Prince Arthur of Connaught, thus becoming Princess Arthur of Connaught. The SD9 will take her word for it. Princess Arthur tells the SD9 that she is looking for something that could be remotely called a Cornish Riviera, so she can honestly tell a screwball of a locomotive that his train has gotten through. The SD9 can't think of anything fitting that description round these parts, but someone further up the line might have an idea. Princess Arthur thanks the SD9 for the advice, and both trains carry on. Princess Arthur is starting to see why they call this place wild and wonderful. The 5600 arrives in Alexandria, Virginia, and locates the big boy's caboose. The 5600 grabs it and tries to get it back to North Carolina quick enough to get the big boy off her back. Or that could happen too. Flying Scotsman slips away up the mountain as the Pennsylvania Railroad T1 arrives looking for Mallard. The T1 shows Mallard a citation he received for going 123 miles per hour. Mallard says, "That's cute, but the record is 126. The Ginty brings the two halves of Ferry Battle back to the workshops and strongly advises the shop foreman not to take mechanical advice from the J50 before seeing if the Ivet needs anything. The Ivet asks the Ginty to take the goods train meant for the Black Five. She has no idea where the Black Five is and suspects she may have gone into business for herself. Back in Baden-Württemberg, the Black Five continues to make her way through Germany. She comes across a CSX Gevo diesel. The Gevo asks the Black Five if she wants an authentic American hot dog full of all kinds of things the German Federal Ministry of Food and Agriculture has banned. The Black Five politely declines and goes on her way. Some heavier armament is being loaded onto flat cars as Grandpa is putting up more of a fight than expected, and can't seem to tell who are and aren't Swedes. The Black Five decides to pop next door into another country. One thing is for certain, though, the Black Five does think it's nice here. Princess Arthur continues through West Virginia and passes a seemingly confused diesel passenger rail car. Princess Arthur figures it would be better to find someone a little less confused to ask for directions. Flying Scotsman has retrieved the special water wagons from their hiding place and slips them into the roundhouse. The Ivat Mogul remarks that if Flying Scotsman can't leave the special water alone for a day, he may be turning into Flying Tosspot. Flying Scotsman does not like the words appearing on the screen. Dippity comes into town. With the sheriff on vacation, Dippity is left to his own devices for enforcing the law, and sees his first lawbreaker. Dippity issues a citation to a passing freight train for not having ditch lights. Princess Arthur carries on and passes an Amtrak engine switching a coal mine. There has to be someone in West Virginia with their head screwed on straight, but she hasn't found them yet. Granted, from what she's seen, North Carolina isn't much better. Dippity pulls another train over. Dippity issues the Southern Pacific Diesel a citation for having ditch lights that are too bright. Dippity prepares another citation for littering. Princess Arthur enters a yard and finds a chassis system diesel. Princess Arthur introduces herself. The chassis system diesel asks what kind of name is Princess Arthur. Princess Arthur says that in 1913, Lady Alexandra Duff... It doesn't matter. She asks the chassis system diesel if there is anything resembling a Cornish Riviera in the area. The chassis diesel says there are a couple fields a few miles up that might have some corn in them. That might work. Princess Arthur thinks that's close enough at this juncture. The 5600 returns to Spencer Yard and heads for the roundhouse. The big boy is close behind. The 5600 cannot access the roundhouse because the J50 is taking a spin on the turntable. The big boy finally has his caboose back, and the 5600 is bracing to be shoved into the turntable pit. An excursion train from Steamtown National Historic Site enters town. The big boy drops the 5600 and keeps an eye on the train from Steamtown. Spot emerges from his shelter in the tunnel and looks around to see how much of his line has been reduced to a smoldering crater. Spot sees Gord making his rounds. Chadson rolls up. Spot commends Chadson for successfully coexisting with a communist. Chadson asks Spot what he's talking about. That's not a communist. Princess Arthur arrives at the farm fields the chassis system diesel pointed her to. Unfortunately, they are hay fields, not cornfields. Close enough for Princess Arthur, seeing as no one is riding the silly train anyways.
Bloopers.
I don't feel like this was going for. That's not going plan at all. I hate it.
It's missing something.